Okay, so today we're going to look at how to add a color to a black and white image in Photopea. Well, Photopea, Photopea, however you want to pronounce it. To me, it looks like Photopea. So maybe one day the developers will come along and say, hey, this is how you say it. Anyway, Photopea.com. For those who are interested, I stumbled on this site during the pandemic and found it was like, I call it Photoshop 10 years ago. It really is. For those who are looking for a way to be able to do the things you can do in Photoshop without having Photoshop, or you're on a Chromebook or you're on an iPad, it's a great alternative. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a new layer, and that's down here. It's that little page with the corner turned up, because everything I'm going to do is going to be on the new layer. I'm going to go ahead and lock my original so I don't accidentally paint on it. This is non-destructive editing. It means that we leave our original alone. We can always go back to our original. I like that because it means no matter how bad I mess up, I can always come back. Now I'm going to grab my quick select tool, which is nested under the magic wand, and I'm going to click on my layer 1 to select. Boom. It selected the flower. Now, this site can be a little quirky. Sometimes it'll appear that tools crash. Sometimes it won't select how you want it to. So it is a little finicky. It takes a little bit of finesse. Should yours crash and tools say, hey, they're stop working, go File, Save as a PSD. Oh, look at that. You could save as a Photoshop document. Save it as a PSD to your computer. You do have to save to your computer on this one. Save it as a PSD, and then just close the file, open the file back up. You don't even have to close the site. Just close the file, open the file back up from your computer, and usually it fixes any bugs that it has. It is buggy, but it's what we've got, and it's free. So let me go ahead and click on my new layer. And I've already selected my flower. I'm going to grab my paintbrush. I'm going to choose a color. Let's go here in the purples. Say OK. And this brush is way too small, so I'm going to make it larger. I am using the bracket. If you look next to P on your keyboard, you have the open bracket and the close bracket. I'm using those. It's the same shortcut in Photoshop. For those who are like, I want to learn how to use Photoshop. Well, here's some news for you. This is exactly the same process I'd use if I were in Photoshop. Okay, yep, that looks really, really ugly right now, doesn't it? We're going to use Control-D to drop that outline. And now here we're going to make the magic. We're going to change the blend mode. That is right here. Look at my layers panel right here where it says normal. I'm going to go down and scroll down to this one that says color. And boom, there we go. What I just did, what that blend mode does, is it tells the software to take any color here that we've applied to layer 2 and apply that hue to layer 1 while keeping all of the values that are on layer 1. And what this means is these parts that go, let me zoom in, that are black here in the center. Make my brush smaller. Oh, let's go here. Right here, so you have a pointer. You can see right here how it didn't affect those, because those are black. That's all the values turned off. So there's no value for it to apply to. And where it goes completely white, all the values turned on, it also doesn't apply any hue there. Sometimes I have people go, well, it's not keeping it exactly the same color. Well, it is, where it's about 80% gray. Right in there. So it uses those values. It gives you kind of what I feel like is a truer representation of a colorized image. Now, there is another way to do this that people often use, and I'm going to show you the difference real quick. Let's click this back to normal. Sometimes people tell you, oh, just lower the opacity. You can, but look at that. It's kind of, it starts to, lose details. This is why I prefer the color blend mode. because you don't lose any of those great details. And that's it. If you want to save out as a JPEG in this software, you do have to export as a JPEG. If you are want to save it as a file you can work with again, so you can come back to it, do save it as a Photoshop document. Unlike other online applications like Pixlr, you do have to actually save this one, just like you would in Photoshop. That's it. I hope you find this helpful. I'll see you next time.